Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, continuing the first verse. So today we'll complete it. The very first verse of the first canto. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadisyeto Nvayat Tarascharteshu Agnyaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muyanti Et Suraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Tri Sargo Mrisha Damna Svena Sada Nerasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimai. Translation. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primal cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations. He is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent, the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representation of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the supreme absolute truth. So Vyasadeva explains about the characteristics of the absolute truth in this very first verse. So he is a source of everything that exists. Janma Adi Yasya Yataha, that we have discussed in the last class, is the source of the entire material cosmic manifestation. And Swarat is fully independent. There is nothing beyond him, and is Abhijna, fully conscious of everything. Then it is he who imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji. And by Lord Krishna, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion. Tene Brahma Hrida Yadikavya Muyanti Et Suraya. Muyanti Et Suraya. So even the great demigods and sages are placed in illusion. And because of him only, the material world appears factual, although it is not. So Lord is present, eternally is present in his own abode called Goloka Vrindavana Dhama. So Vyasadeva says, I meditate upon that supreme absolute truth who is Paratattva. So the purport we will discuss. We'll continue the purport. In Vedic literatures, it is said that absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is the chief amongst all personalities. All living beings, beginning from the first created being, Brahma, down to the smallest ant, are individual living beings. And above Brahma, there are even other living beings with individual capacities. And the personality of Godhead is also similar living being. And he is an individual as are the other living beings. But the Supreme Lord or the Supreme Living Being has the greatest intelligence, and he possesses supermost inconceivable energies of all different varieties. If a man's brain can produce a space satellite One can very easily imagine how brains higher than man can produce similar wonderful things which are far superior. The reasonable person will easily accept this argument. But there are stubborn atheists who would never agree. Srila Vyasadeva, however, at once accepts the supreme intelligence as the Parameshvara. He offers his respectful obeisances unto the supreme intelligence addressed as the Para or the Parameshvara or the supreme personality of Godhead. And that Parameshwara, Sri Krishna, as admitted in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures delivered by Sri Vyasadeva, and specifically in this Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that there is no other Paratattva, Sammam Bhuvanam, than himself. Therefore, Sri Vyasadeva at once worships the Paratattva, Sri Krishna, whose transcendental activities are described in 10th canto. So, it is Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dvavimau Purusho Loke Sakshakshar Evacha Kshara Sarvani Bhutani Uttastaksha Uchade. There are two kinds of living beings. One is called Kshara and another is called Akshara. The living entities in this material world called Kshara means fallible. Fallible means the conditioned souls or the living entities who do not align with the interest of the Lord. As soon as the living entity do not align their interest with the interest of the Lord, immediately they are captured by Maya or the material energy. Therefore, they are called fallible. One who's under the control of the external potency or material energy or illusory energy of the Lord. They are called fallible. And those who are in the spiritual world, they are called infallible. Because they align their interest with the interest of the Lord. They do not have any independent desire. They do not have any independent desire to enjoy without Lord. Therefore, they are called infallible. So, those who are fallible means their body undergoes shadvikar changes. Material body undergoes six changes. Whereas those who are infallible, those who are in the spiritual world, they have got spiritual body. They do not undergo any such changes. Now, Krishna says, other than these two living entities, it says, Uttama Purushastanya Paramatmeti Udarata Yoloke Traim Avishya Vibharti Avye Ishvaraha. Besides these two, who fallible and infallible, two categories. Besides these two categories, those who are in the material world and those who are in the spiritual world, living entities. Beyond this, one supreme soul or super soul, that is Krishna, Paramatma. And he enters Yoloke Train Avishya. He enters into the three world. Vibharti Avi Ishvara. He enters into this three world and maintains all the jivas. Yasmaksharam Atito Akshara Chotama Atosmi Loka Vedesha Pratita Purushottama. Because Krishna says, because I am transcendental, beside these two, I am transcendental beyond both fallible and infallible. Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and infallible, because I am the greatest, I am celebrated in this world and in this, I am celebrated in this world and the Vedas as Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna is transcendental to both fallible and infallible because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here it is said, the Supreme Lord has the greatest intelligence and he possesses supermost inconceivable energies of all different varieties. So Lord Brahma says to Narada, Although I am known as the great Brahma, although I have undergone austerities, severe austerities, and I'm expert in all mistake perfections because Lord Brahma has got all kinds of siddhis, and self-realization is experienced, is expert in even self-realization. Nevertheless, he says, still I am not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Lord Brahma, who is the first living entity, is very good in austerity, he underwent austerity for 100 years of demigods. Nevertheless, he says, he admits, in spite of his knowledge, wisdom, austerity, self realization, still he feels that he has not understood Krishna. Therefore, he says, let me surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, which alone can free one from the miseries of birth and death. So, even up to the position of Lord Brahma, cannot understand Krishna completely. To some extent, a jiva can understand. To some extent, a jiva can understand. So, Parishit Maharaj says to Shukadeva Goswami, Nunam Bhagavado Brahman, Hare Adbuda Karmana, Durvi Bhavam Ivabati, Kavivi Chapi Chestidam. O Brahmana, the transcendental activities of Lord Hari, Nunam Bhagavado Brahman, Hare Adbuda Karmana is karma, Hari karma is the activities of Lord Hari, Adbuda, wonderful. Activities of Lord Krishna is wonderful. It is inconceivable. It is inconceivable for even kavis, the learned people, even though they put to the chesta, endeavor. With the chesta, the learned people, they try to understand the activities of the Lord Hari, but still they are not able to understand. They are not able to comprehend. In spite of their chesta, still they are not able to understand the activities of Lord Hari. Therefore, it is called inconceivable. One should not understand Lord's creation. Just like a blacksmith with a hammer, he creates certain items. Like that, Lord does not create the world. Just like banyan, a seed of a banyan fruit has the potency to create a big tree. Seed of a small fruit, banyan fruit, has got the potency to create a big banyan tree. Similarly, the seed of this universe given by the Lord, the seed of the universe, the seed of the all the jivas, as given by the Lord. By watering the seed, one can manifest the seed into universe. Lord Brahma cannot create a seed. Lord Brahma, even though he is a great personality, he cannot create a seed. The seed is given by Lord Krishna. Only just like a gardener put a seed and put water, he can make it into a plant. Similarly, Lord Brahma create this universe with the seed given by the Lord. With the seed given by the Lord, how? By watering process. So the primary creation is done by the Lord. That means He gives the material ingredients. With that ingredients, Lord Brahma performs and does secondary creation. He gives a shape to the world, to the bodies, to the jivas. So, but people, common people, although it is clearly given how the world functions, the seed is given by the Lord, but yet the materialistic people, they do not understand. They do not accept the hand of the Lord. They think everything comes by nature. Lord is not the cause. There is no God. It's all things comes out of nature. The creation, everything. We all come just because of nature. Once we can say, actually, today people are what is it? Proud of the great achievement by the scientist, particularly in space science. The artificial satellites uh, plays a vital role in the communication industry, military intelligence, and also study of Earth and other satellites, outer space. Scientists sit around the clock and see the critical parameters of the satellite when they send the satellites to space. Hundreds and thousands of scientists sit round the clock continuously. Will be sitting and monitoring the critical parameters like velocity, spin, orientation, radiation, and the distance between the earth and the satellite. They all sit and analyze all the critical parameters. Our universe is filled with full of natural satellites like Earth, Moon, Sun. So many planets are there. You see that Earth, that is Earth mass is 6 into 10 to the power of 21 metric tons, and it's moving at the speed of 1,06,000 kilometers per hour around the sun. Earth is moving at the speed of 1,06,000 kilometers per hour. Where a small satellite a person sends to the space, and he sits and calculates, sees all the parameters, how it's going, functioning. Big satellites are floating in the space. Who is controlling? Would it not be absurd to say there is no control system, that Earth is revolving at the speed of 1,06,000 kilometers with a mass of 6 into 10 to the power of 21 metric tons? No system is there, nobody is there to control. It's so foolish. People, they don't even think. They all say it's everything comes out of nowhere. There is a control. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Gama Vishacha Bhutani Dharayamaha Ojasha. So I enter into each planet and they stay in the orbit because of me. So Lord enters into each and every planet, and all the planets stays in the orbit. So we should not think that without control of the Lord, nothing exists. So this is most important thing to understand. Next point. So next point. Yeah, smart moving. Just 1 minute. So everything is created by the Lord, maintained by the Lord, and unlimited by the Lord. So he is the supreme personality of God. Therefore, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mata paratram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mayi sarva idam prodam sutre mani ganayuva. So Krishna says that I am the supreme truth. There is nothing beyond me. There is nothing beyond me. Just like everything rest upon me as pearls or strung on a thread. Similarly, all the planetary system are maintained by the Lord in his expansion as Ananta. So Lord is the ultimate control. He is the one who is maintaining every jiva, including the planets. So next point, Prabhupada says the unscrupulous persons go immediately to the 10th canto, especially to the 5 chapters which describe the Lord's Rasa dance. This portion of Srimad Bhagavatam is the most confidential part of this great literature. Unless one is thoroughly accomplished in the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, one is sure to misunderstand the Lord's worshipable transcendental pastimes called Rasa dance and his love affairs with the gopis. This subject matter is highly spiritual, and only the liberated persons who have gradually attained to the stage of Paramahamsa can transcendently relish this rasa dance. Srila Vyasadeva therefore gives the reader the chance to gradually develop spiritual realization before actually relishing the essence of the pastimes of the Lord. Therefore, he purposely invokes a Gayatri mantra, Dhimahi. This Gayatri mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people. When one is successful in chanting the Gayatri mantra, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. One must therefore acquire Brahminical qualities or be perfectly situated in the quality of goodness in order to chant Gayatri mantra successfully and then attain to the stage of transcendently realizing the Lord, His name, fame, qualities, and so on. So we have to understand. Here we have to understand how one should hear or speak the Bhagavatam. The criteria set by both the speaker and the hearer. Srimad Bhagavatam should be understood through proper hearing from the realized person who is the representative of Vyasadeva or Shukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj, he asked in the beginning, the very first question put forward to Shukadeva Goswami is, I wish to know how does Lord create this universe through his different energies? How does the Lord maintain and destroy the universe? How does he enact the primary creation? How does he carry out the secondary creation through demigods and prajapatis? These are the few questions. The very beginning, Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadeva Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj knew very well that he is going to die within 7 days. He could have directly gone to Krishna's pastimes. I want to hear about Krishna. Please tell me Krishna's intimate pastimes. He did not ask. Parikshit Maharaj did not ask about Krishna's pastimes in the beginning. He want to understand everything systematically. Therefore, he asked, I want to understand how does Lord create this universe through his energies? How does he maintain? How does he annihilate? Neither Shukadeva Goswami said to Parikshit, oh Parikshit, anyway you are going to die within 7 days. Why should I explain all these things? It's all unnecessary. You should remember Krishna at the time of death. Therefore, let me talk about Krishna immediately. No. Neither hearer asked the speaker to speak on Krishna immediately, or the speaker spoke knowing Parikshit is going to leave the world within 7 days. So everything we should hear systematically. Unless we hear about the greatness of the Lord, how Krishna created this universe, how he is maintaining, when we do not understand the greatness of Krishna, it's very, very difficult to understand the intimate pastimes of Krishna. When we hear about the rasa dance from Krishna without going through all the nine cantos, then people we may consider the Krishna as the ordinary person. We will compare our activities with the Krishna activities because we have not understood about the greatness of the Lord. How Krishna does performs his activities under the influence of intel energy. We don't understand. We have no knowledge. Therefore, people commit mistake by directly jumping into the 10th canto. So it's absolutely not correct. Systematically, everything we should read. When Chaitanya Prabhu never spoke about the confidential subject, particularly Krishna's dealing with gopis, with some new people, because they cannot understand. They have no intelligence or the capacity to understand. Therefore, he would speak about the confidential subject matter, Krishna's pastime, intimate pastimes to the gopis, only with a few holiest souls like Ramananda Raya, Surupa Damodar, only few people, because people cannot understand about Krishna's activities unless one is purified. One cannot understand about Krishna's activities. That his activities are divya, transcendental. So one should hear about Krishna from the bona fide spiritual master, and when he recommends how we should read, how we should go step by step, then we will be able to relish. So first, actually, Vyasadeva was written, means compiled this Bhagavad Purana up to nine cantos. By reaching the ninth canto, one is liberated. So only a liberated soul can relish the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Although there are many, many things, intimate things are there. Shukadeva Goswami is the greatest brahmachari, but he took pleasure in describing such activities. Why? Because it is transcendental, it is spiritual. If it is a material, Krishna is dealing with the gopis. If it is a material, exalted personality like a Shukadeva Goswami, foremost brahmachari, he would not have spoken. He would not have spoken. Therefore, we should not see a Bhagavatam. It's kind of what is this? So many things are there. It's all very not good. It's not like a spiritual book. We should not think that we are superior than Vyasadeva, superior than Shukadeva Goswami, that we feel it's awkward as if they don't know. No, it's a transcendental, it's a spiritual subject. So when one has reached that state, liberated state, he can relish that subject matter, just like Parikshit Maharaj was relishing in hearing. Shukadeva Goswami was describing, he also was relishing about Krishna's pastimes. So one has to systematically go canto after canto. Even the Goswamis, they have compiled a lot of literatures. Many literature they it's compiled, and it's connected to gopis. Krishna's dealing with gopis. But later, because they are highly elevated souls, they relish the pastimes of Krishna and with gopis. They have compiled. But later, they understood that people are not qualified to read. Because when we read that intimate pastimes of Krishna and gopis, we get agitated sometimes because we are not qualified. We think everything in terms of our vision. Therefore, they are put and made one samadhi called Grantha Samadhi, that is placed in Madan Mohan Temple complex near Sanatana Goswami Samadhi Mandir, because we are not in the position, we are not qualified to understand about the intimate dealings of Lord Krishna with the gopis. So systematically one should read so that once we reach the state, we can relish the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So next purport point, Prabhupada says, Srimad Bhagavatam is the narration of the Surupa of the Lord, manifested by his internal potency. And this potency is distinguished from the external potency, which has manifested the cosmic world, which is within our experience. Srila Vyasadeva makes a clear distinction between the two in this sloka. Sri Vyasadeva says herein that the manifested internal potency is real, whereas the external potency, external manifested energy in the form of material existence is only temporary and illusory, like a mirage in the desert. In the desert, mirage, there is no actual water. There is only the appearance of water. Real water is somewhere else. The manifested cosmic creation appears as reality, but reality of which this is but a shadow is in the spiritual world. Absolute truth is in the spiritual sky, not in the material sky. In the material sky, everything is relative truth. That is to say, one truth depends on something else. This cosmic creation results from the interaction of the three modes of nature, and the temporary manifestation are so created as to present an illusion of reality to the bewildered mind of the conditioned soul, who appears in so many species of life, including the higher demigods like Lord Brahma, Indra, Chandra, and so on. In actuality, there is no reality in the manifested world. There appears to be reality. However, because of the true reality which exists in the spiritual world, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead eternally exists with this transcendental paraphernalia. So, here it is said, Lord's activities are conducted by his internal potency. Therefore, it is called Divya, transcendental. Whereas our activities are conducted by the external potency. Therefore, it is called material. There is a vast difference between our activities and Lord's activities. Ours is material, Lord's activity is spiritual. Therefore, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chane divyam evam yo veti tattvata tektva deham puno janma naiti mameti soarjuna. Krishna says, anyone who understands Janma karma chamediyam is birth and karma. Activities are divya, transcendental. He will not take birth again after giving up this material body. Go to the abode of the Lord. So when one understands the activities of the Lord is a transcendental, is certainly eligible to go to the abode of the Lord. So all the activities Krishna performed with the gopis are transcendental. Similarly, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, although Krishna comes to the world, Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashacha duskritam. So Krishna appears to kill the demons and protect devotees. Although the two activities are different, but Lord being transcendental, the result of both activities is one and same. Lord's killing of demons is as auspicious as his protecting the devotees. So on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, those who fought with Arjuna, and they all saw the beauty of Krishna because Krishna was the chariot driver. All the people looked at Krishna and appreciated. Oh, Krishna, so beautiful. Just they appreciated. And after that, Arjuna shot an arrow and killed all the people. Just they appreciated the beauty of Krishna. As a result, they have awakened the love of God. Just by appreciating Krishna's beauty, one can awaken his love of God. What is the result of that? They all went to the abode of Vaikunta, abode of Lord Narayana. just for this one activity. What is the activity? They appreciated the beauty of Krishna. Oh, Krishna is so beautiful, that's all. Immediately they died. And anyone who awakens love for Krishna little bit will be promoted to Vaikuntha Loka. But to go to the Goloka Vrindavana, Krishna's personal abode, Vaikuntha Loka, Lord Narayana is there. But if anyone wants to go to Goloka Vrindavana, he has to awaken his love for Krishna to the full degree, completely. Then is eligible to go to the abode of Goloka Vrindavana. So Krishna comes to the world not to kill the demons, but to liberate them. But to liberate them. When Krishna kills the demons, they get purified. Just like when Narsimhadeva killed Hiranyakashipu, at the time Prahlad Maharaj prayed wonderful prayers when Lord Narsimhadeva asked benediction. So he asked, my dear Lord, my father was very much against you, he offended you, he criticized you, therefore please kindly forgive him. And Lord said, because your father was killed by me, therefore, because by my touch, your father became purified. So when Krishna is supremely pure, Lord is supremely pure, simply glances upon people, he can purify. What to speak of even touching? He personally touched the body of Hiranyakashipu. Therefore, naturally, he'll become pure. Naturally become pure. When Diti became pregnant, because she was very much lusty and somehow he pulled Kashyapa, he forced him to have union. At the time when Kashyapa said that because you did not obey my order, instruction, as a result, two demons entered into your womb, entered your womb, and they'll be killed by the Supreme Lord. So when Diti heard that her children will be killed by the Supreme Lord, she was so happy. It's good that my children will be killed by Lord. She knows that when the Lord touches the children, they become purified. Although they are demon, nevertheless they will attain the highest destination. So this is the greatness of Lord. But we cannot compare the Lord's activity. Our protection, our killing is totally different, material. But Krishna's killing, Krishna's protection is totally transcendental because it is conducted under the internal potency of the Lord. Although Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarni Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhaksha. So Krishna created this four varnas. Although Krishna created this varnashma dharma, nevertheless he is not obliged to follow the varnashma dharma because he's the creator. Therefore, he performed rasa dance with young girls or wife of other man. Actually, according to Varnashram Dharma, it is not very good to dance with the wife of another man, but Krishna did. But this law does not apply to Lord Krishna. This law does not apply to Lord Krishna because he performs his activities under the internal potency. But the material world is governed by external potency. Therefore, it is forbidden. In this world, such kind of activity, we are all under the influence of external potency. When we are under the influence of external potency, such kind of activities are forbidden. Whereas in the spiritual world, this Madhurya Rasa, the Madhurya Rasa is divided into two rasas, Svakiya Rasa and Parakya Rasa. Among all the rasas, Madhurya Rasa is the topmost. In the Madhurya Rasa, again divided into two, Svakiya Rasa and Parakya Rasa. Svakiya Rasa means he engages in conjugal relationship with wives like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and other wives. But Parakya Rasa, he engages, means means conjugal love, enjoys the affair, loving affair with gopis who are not married. This is the pinnacle of all the rasas, the topmost rasa, because that is under the uh, influence of internal energy. So therefore, there is a vast difference between the external energy and internal energy. So we should not uh, say that Lord performed. Why we should not perform? Because we are not, our activities are not under the influence of internal energy. Therefore, just like a CMD of the some company, so he'll come late. Anytime he can come, he may not wear uniform. When he takes leave, he may not take anyone's permission. He may not take anyone permission to take leave. He wants to go, he can go anywhere. It does not require to take anyone's permission. He need not to punch when he comes. Yeah, we all when you go to office, we have to punch. When CMD comes, he will not punch. Why? Because he is the one who created the company. He is not bound by the rules and regulation of the company. That employees cannot say that CMD is not coming on time. Therefore, why should I go on time? Why should I take permission from other? CMD himself not taking. Nobody can speak like this. Why? Because every one of us know we are governed by the laws, rules and regulation of the company. But the CMD is above the rules and regulations. He is not bound by the rules and regulation of the organization. But we, being employees, we are bound by the rules and regulations. So similarly, Krishna is beyond the rules and regulations because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He cannot do anything wrong. Just because a CMD, he can do anything wrong. No, it is his creation. He is a lawmaker. He cannot be lawbreaker. It appears to be a lawbreaker, just like a CMD appears to be a lawbreaker. He's not a lawbreaker. He's not a lawbreaker. Similarly, Krishna is not a lawbreaker. So people think when Krishna does, why I should not do? No, we cannot because our position is different from Krishna's position. There are two words called Anusara and Anukara. Anusara means we should follow in the footsteps of great personalities, like Krishna would get up in the morning, 3 o'clock, and would meditate, would offer obeisances to elders, give charity. All these things he would do. Being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he did all things and all. We should follow in the footsteps of Krishna, getting up early in the morning and performing spiritual activities, giving respect to others, giving charity. This is called Anusara, following in the footsteps of the great personalities. Anukara means imitating, just like a rasa dance or a lifting Govardhana. This is all we cannot imitate. Like Lord Shiva was smoking ganja. People also smoke ganja, saying Lord did, why we should not do? No, we cannot imitate Lord's activities, great personalities. So we should simply follow, it's called Anusara. We should follow the activities. um, we should follow the footsteps of the great personalities, their activities, which is good for our spiritual life. Next is in this material world, there is in this material sky. So anyone who understands Krishna's dealings with the gopis and all his activities are transcendental is certainly eligible for liberation. So the point is, next point is, in this material sky, everything is relative truth. That is to say, one truth depends upon something else. For example, so we can understand the size of the hall. So say 20 feet by 30 feet. How we measure? We measure with a tape. So how the tape is made? The tape is manufactured. So they have taken some machine, and the machine has got some dimension. So with that dimension, the tape is made. So this tape dimension depends upon the machine dimension. So the machine was created, they would have taken the reference from somewhere else. So that depends upon something else. Like that, we go on like that, we depend upon something else. For example, we read newspaper and so place bomb blasted. So many people died in the different country. So we hear from the newspaper. How they write, they hear from someone who is there in the field, and that person hear from someone. So like that, if somebody is some mistake is there, then everything will become false. So therefore, in this material world, one truth depend upon another truth, but whereas spiritual, it's a final, it's a absolute truth, there is nothing beyond. The chief engineer of a complicated construction does not personally take part in the construction, but he knows every nook and corner because everything is done under his direction. He knows everything about the construction, both directly and indirectly. Similarly, the personality of God, who is the supreme engineer of this cosmic creation, knows every nook and corner, although affairs are being carried out by the demigods, beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant ant. No one is independent of the material creation. The ants of the Lord is seen everywhere. All material elements as well as spiritual sparks emanate from him only. And whatever is created in this material world is but the interaction of the two energies, material and the spiritual, which emanates from the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Just like any engineer who plans to construct a house, he knows where is a bedroom, where is a kitchen, where is a hall, and visiting people room, guest room. Everything is got. Although he may not do personally, but it is he who gives a plan. Just like if you ask Mahaprabhu, although it's a big temple, still he knows what's the dimension of this hall, how big is it? Why? Because although he has not physically constructed plan, similarly, a Lord may not construct everything personally, but he knows every nook and corner of the universe. He knows every nook and corner of the universe because everything is done according to the direction. He has not physically done, but it's done under the direction of Lord. Therefore, is conscious of everything, every nook and corner of the universe. Therefore, is called Abhijna. Abhijna means fully conscious of everything that exists. So, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kammono Budrevacha Hamkaritimi Binna Prakriti Ashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, these eight energies are my separated energies. Binna, Prakriti, Ashtada. Ashta means eight. This five gross element and the three subtle mind, intelligence, false ego. And this five material element, gross element, has got five sense object. And the false ego has got five working senses and five knowledge acquiring senses. So put together all 24 elements derived from this eight energy or eight material element, eight material elements. So the next Krishna says, apart from this eight material elements, apreyam itasanya prakatim idime param shivabhuta mahabhav edam dharite jagat. Besides these eight element, this is an inferior energy. This is all the material element called belong to inferior energy. Besides these 8 elements, there is another energy of mind which is superior energy, which is called Jiva Bhuta, the living entities who exploits this inferior energy. We, superior energy, the Jivas, we try to exploit the inferior energy called material energy for our sense gratification. For example, a person who has got money, he wants to construct a wonderful bungalow. For what? Enjoy sense gratification. He has got the money and he gets all the ingredients and spends for what purpose? Enjoy sense gratification. Enjoy sense gratification. So jivas, the jiva bhuta, the living entities are exploiting the inferior energy. So actually, this entire material cosmic manifestation is a combination of both the energies, inferior energy and superior energy. For example, the body, I am there. So spirit soul is there, the body is there. The body develops because of the spirit soul. The body develops because of the spirit soul. And for example, the house is there, the matter, but it's created by, built by somebody else, the jiva, who is superior. This is the material element. The material element, this house is made of material element, but it's made by some superior person. So whatever it is there in this material world, it's a combination of two energy. One is inferior energy, matter, and a superior energy, the spirit soul. Similarly, this cosmic manifestation, just like the jiva, the soul enters into the body develops. The body develops. Similarly, cosmic manifestation, unless Lord enters, it cannot manifest. Just like as soul enters the body become manifested. Similarly, the universe is there means Lord has entered. Supreme soul or super soul entered, and he is the one who's maintaining the entire universe. Next point. The conditioned souls, beginning from Lord Brahma, who engineers the entire universe down to the insignificant ant, are all creating, but none of them are independent of the Supreme Lord. The materialist wrongly thinks that there is no creator other than his own self. This is called Maya or illusion. Because of his poor fund of knowledge, the materialist cannot see beyond the purview of his imperfect senses. Thus, he thinks the matter automatically takes its own shape without the aid of superior intelligence. This is refuted in this shloka by Srila Vyasadeva, since the complete whole or the absolute truth is the source of everything. Nothing can be independent of the body of the supreme. Nothing can be independent of the body of the absolute truth. Whatever happens to the body quickly becomes known to the embodied. Similarly, the creation is the body of the absolute whole. Therefore, the absolute knows everything directly and indirectly happens to the creation. So conditions for the world are not independent, but completely depend upon the Lord for everything. Even the Lord Brahma and all the living entities gives only gives shape to the things that is already created by the Lord. So everyone is completely depend upon the Lord. Just like a pot maker, he can create a pot. He sets a motion and brings out wonderful pot. But ultimately, he took ingredient from nature. The ingredient he has not created. Only he has given the shape. But he takes the credit that I produce the pot. I produce the pot. He is not aware that the ingredients that he used to make a pot does not belong to him. Does not belong to him. So similarly, including Lord Brahma, he can give only shape, but the ingredient is given by the Lord. Therefore, everyone depend upon the Lord. The materialists do not understand this. That Lord is the one who has created everything. Therefore, they say, Asatyam apratishtamte jagadaru anishwaram. Aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama aitukam. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita about the divine and the demonic nature, how the demons think. The demonic people think the world is unreal. There is no foundation. There is no God in control. The world is simply produced out of sex desire. They all think everything come into uh, existence because of combination of male and female. If they do not combine, then things will not come out. So everything that exists, it's only because of lust. There is no other cause. They do not think beyond that. Therefore, they are called demonic. Unless the spirit soul enters the body cannot grow. They don't have understanding. They all think only matter can produce. Only everything is coming to existence due to combination of matter, not by the supreme force. There was a Newton, he had a scientist, he was a believer of God. He understood everything that exists is due to the God's will or God is a creator. But he had a friend who was not a Christian and did not have any faith that Lord is a creator. So many times Newton tried to convince him that you see the wonderful manifestation of this universe. It's all due to Lord's will. Lord has created this wonderful universe. He started refuting, no, it's all come by chance. There is no Lord, there is no God, and everything has come into existence by chance. Not God is the creator. He did not accept. So one day Newton he developed one model, solar system, one big mass, like a kind of ball, brass made of brass ball, and connected with the spokes, and so many other balls representing all other planets, and all of them are connected to one crankshaft. The crankshaft is rotated. This all the balls will revolve around that central ball called sun. So he made the system, wonderful system, with the help of somebody. And one day he was sitting and reading, and it was going at it. And his friend came and he saw that wonderful solar system model. Wow, wonderful! And he started cranking. Means the crank he was rotating. When he was doing, all the balls started revolving. It was so wonderful, so wonderful. I asked, the friend asked, who has created such a wonderful model? So Newton did not respond, just he kept reading. And did you not hear that what I was asking? Who has created such a wonderful model? So nice. Somebody has got like a high intelligence, must have big brain to do this work. No, nobody has done. Just like morning I came, I saw suddenly some balls came and some spokes came and all assembled together and started moving. Come on, do you think that do you think that I am a fool to believe this? How is it possible? All of a sudden, some balls came and connected to some spoke and started moving. Don't think I am fool. And Newton was saying that you are saying that all the planetary system it came from nowhere and it's moving in the orbit on its own. When such big planets can move in the orbit on its own, why can't this ball can move in orbit on its own? Why it cannot assemble by nature? Why it cannot come from nowhere? When that is possible, this is also possible. No, that person started thinking, then realized that is foolishness. Nothing can happen by accident. Everything has got some cause. Then he believed, yes, Lord is the creator. He has created these planets. So it's Lord has created. We cannot think that things have just appeared from nowhere. That's foolishness. the so-called scientists, so-called materialistic people, they do not accept God is a creator. But actually, God is a creator. So, once Narada Muni asked Brahma, what is the symptoms of this universe? What is background? How is it created? How is it annihilated? Then, under whose control all these things are happening, being done? Under whose control all these things are being done? So Brahma responded, I only recreate. I manifest this universe which is already manifested by the Lord. I discover what is already created by Him, and I also created by Him only. So Lord Brahma, already Lord has created, He simply manifests, that's all, including Himself. Lord Brahma Himself created by the Lord. Just like it is said, uh, Columbus discovered America. But actually, that America already was existing. It's not that he discovered something new. No, already is there. Similarly, people may think that, just like, for example, take black color and blue color, we mix together and we say that I created this color, I am the founder. People take pride. You take everything from the nature and do something, permutation, combination, and produce something and take credit. So already the black and blue, already it is there who created, that they don't see. Take this one and mix, and I am the creator. So people foolishly take credit for themselves without giving the credit to the person who created the ingredient. So we have to understand this principle. The Lord is the ultimate creator, and so unless one surrenders to Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is certain that one will be bewildered. When an intelligent man surrenders unto Supreme Lord Krishna, knows completely that Krishna is the cause of all causes, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, then only such a intelligent man becomes Mahatma or great soul. Only the Mahatma can understand the Supreme Lord is the primal cause of all causes of creation, is a Parama or ultimate truth, because all of the truths are relative to Him, is omniscient. For Him there is no illusion. So Srimad Bhagavatam gradually elevates the reader to the highest perfection stage of transcendence. It will enable him to transcend three modes of material nature and reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one has to gradually understand step by step as given by Srila Prabhupada, then we'll be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in truth. So this is the purport of this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.